Well, from my previous video that I had to take down due to copyright, I want to talk about Ben 10 and how I just love this character. Ben 10 is a character I grew up with in the 2010s, and generally this character just means so much to me. He is one of my favorite characters of all time, in my top 3 of all time. So without further ado, let's get in with the video. When I was a little kid, I grew up loving superheroes like most kids, right? It was Spider-Man and Iron Man were my 2 favorite superheroes as a kid, and Batman. When I saw Ben 10 on TV for the first time in the 2010s, I can't remember what year I got into Ben 10. All I remember is that it was during the 2010s. I believe it was Omniverse. That was my introduction to Ben 10. I think it was the first introduction of blocks is when I got into Ben, because I do remember him being the first alien I've ever seen Ben turn into. So I think that's when I got into Ben 10, but I can't remember the year exactly. All I remember is that Blocks was my first alien that I've ever seen. The shows I loved watching mostly was the original show and Omniverse, because those are the ones I watched mostly. And on my early days of TikTok, my account was mostly just Spider-Man, Sonic, and Ben 10. This is my TikTok. This is, I deleted all the videos from back then, though, because I was a little kid and I made, corny content. But anyways, why do I love Ben 10? Ben 10 is one of the best superhero shows and is my favorite show of all time. Ben 10 is one of the best superheroes of all time. He is a way better hero than Invincible, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Look at this scene right here.
Why do you continue to defend the Omnitrix when it's hopeless? I do not understand.
That's because the only thing you think about is yourself. Now step off. I've got a world to save.
Mind you, that's Ben when he doesn't have access to his Omnitrix, and that's when he is just powerless, and he's defending his planet. Where was Mark during the Invincible War? Because when Cecil says, "Mark, your mom and brother are out there. They can be killed," Mark says, "I don't care." To even think of putting Mark on the level of Ben 10 is just disrespectful. But anyways, that was off topic. But that scene specifically, one of the reasons why I love Ben so much, it shows what his character is, who he is. And Ben is a great hero. That is only one scene just showing how much of a great superhero Ben is. And a reason why I love Ben 10 so much is because of the impact he's had on me. He was the first non-superhero from Marvel or DC that I've ever seen, and then I got into Invincible shortly after I got into Ben 10. I had a classic Ben 10 figure and a Heat Blast from the reboot. I had the reboot toys because I didn't know where to get the older stuff, and the aliens, I just didn't care. As long as I had Accelerate, I was fine. Because Five Below, a few years ago, were selling the reboot toys like Diamond Head, Heat Blast, and Accelerate, which of course I got, and Ben himself. So I own a Jet Ray figure, and I have a literal Ben 10 fit in my closet. Ben is generally one of my favorite characters of all time, and he is my top 2 favorite superheroes of all time. It's a back and forth between him and Spider-Man. It's a back and forth. They're both my favorite superheroes. I don't think I have a favorite superhero because it's just bouncing between Spider-Man and Ben 10, which Ben and Insomniac Spider-Man share the same voice actor. And Yuri Lowenthal voices a lot of Spider-Man projects besides the Insomniac games. I love Ben 10 is because he just has multiple superheroes he could just turn into, and everyone can have their own favorite. For example, my 4 favorite aliens of all time is Heat Blast, Upgrade, Forearms, and my number 1 of all time since I was a kid, Accelerate. Accelerate was always my favorite alien, and he still is to this day. I just love fast characters. I make a bunch of Sonic videos. Of course, Accelerate was my favorite alien. Me and my friend Jeremy, we used to call each other Ben and Rook because he looks like Rook to me, and I'm obviously Ben. And when we would play with our little Omnitrixes, the alien I would always choose was Accelerate. I cannot name one single time I chose Accelerate if it wasn't a crossover. It wasn't a crossover fight. I turned into a bunch of different aliens. But if it was me versus my friends with the Omnitrix, always Accelerate. And one of my favorite YouTubers of all time is the Ink Tank because he makes a bunch of videos on Ben 10. And when I was a kid, I would watch his videos on Ben 10. When I saw the Ben 10 versus Green Lantern video, I got mad at that because I wanted Alien X to win. And they killed him in the most stupid way because they had Green Lantern cut off his wrist when he has a literal failsafe. Because reminder, they used Alien X in that video. So he has the failsafe where he can't die. But I also went as Ben 10 from Alien Force to my middle school for St. Patrick's Day, and then I started wearing the jacket more and more often because, like I said, I love Ben 10, so of course I wore that jacket. It kept me warm. Without Ben 10, I wouldn't even be eating one of my favorite foods ever, chili fries. I love chili foods. I love chili dogs and I love chili fries. Those are my two favorite foods ever. A reason why I love Ben 10 so much is that, one, I just grew up with him, and another reason is because I looked up to him as a kid. I wanted to be Ben 10. I mean, who wouldn't? And I still revisit the show today. The original show will still always be my favorite one. But I just wanted to keep it brief with this video. I don't have enough storage to make a much longer video. So to wrap things up, I'll catch you guys in my next video.